Hello and welcome to another contest results show. My name is Cyril Lachel, and on Tuesday I asked this question. Mega Man is fun and all, but it's always set in the distant future. Let's say Capcom decided to send the Blue Bomber back in time in a brand new history-themed Mega Man adventure. Where should they send him? And what should they name this spin-off? Now, let me tell you, you did not disappoint. And today we're going to be going over the best contest entries. In this episode, I'll be reading what you said and reacting to it. The winners will take home copies of 20XX on Steam, and runners-up will hear me butcher their names. It's not a fair trade-off, but what can you do? Let's kick things off with Novik Plays, who says, a Mega Man game with the mindset of TMNT Turtles in Time sounds like a sweet idea. That way, each stage could be a different time in history. As for a name, Mega Man Lost in Time. Yeah, but in 15 years, Capcom will shit out a remake called Mega Man Lost in Time Reshelled. Eli E says he should be sent to the Wild West, and the title would be called Mega Man Wily's Wild Wild West. There can even be a Gunsmoke cameo, and he can team up with historical figures like Billy the Kid. And Mega Man dies of dysentery. Uber Crit says, I think sending him back to the World War II era would be pretty sweet. Having to fight off Dr. Fuhrer and his robot masters Napoleon-O-Matic and Sly Stalin Man. Yep, that's my answer and I'm sticking to it. We could probably work Pol Pot in there somewhere. Maybe Polbot. We'll workshop it. Will Riviera says, back to the Industrial Revolution era. Turn it into a steampunky feel using the newly invented machinery. Allow Mega Man to craft new weapons he acquires from his fallen foes. Yeah, just what Mega Man needs. Crafting. Up next is Found Gaming. The Roaring Twenties. I want to see Mega Man gunning down bootleggers, hooking up with flappers, and bursting into song Chicago style. Mega Man, Prohibition Edition. Not gonna lie, an all-singing, all-dancing Mega Man is appealing. Sly Dante says, well, for me, this is kind of a no-brainer. I'd like to see Mega Man in the 1950s and or early 1960s, during one of the golden ages of science fiction. Like, imagine the Blue Bomber dealing with stuff like the 1962 World's Fair, or the beginning of Epcot gone chaotic, fighting in full-on Zera settings, with retrofuturism in full effect. Taking place in bubble domes, pre-war Fallout-style suburban homes with robot handymen and automation, constant use of jetpack travel, enemies crafted in the likeness of Gort and Robbie the Robot, who I know wasn't a villain, but he just looks cool. Little touches of cheesy B-movie aesthetic all around, especially the dialogue, if this is Capcom. I just think it would be the perfect fit for the franchise. Can't think of a particularly good name though, but for some reason, since I've always wanted to cast Michael J. Fox as the voice of Mega Man and Christopher Lloyd as the voice of Dr. Light, let's go with Mega Man Back to the Future, pending any lawsuits. Well, if you can't get Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, will you settle for Mega Man Hot Tub Time Machine? I'm sure we could probably get that guy from The Office to be in it. No, the other guy from The Office. Monic Let says, I'll send Mega Man to the good age of The Simpsons. So let's make it a crossover. This time our Blue Bomber will have yellow skin too, and we will transform the characters into robot masters. Skinner as Mama's Boy Man, Krusty as Pedantic Clown Man, Nelson as Bully Man, Ned Flanders as Faith Man, Barney with his fire burp as Drunken Man, Apu is Thank You and Come Again Man, and Duff Man is Duff Man. Now we need a final boss, and that would be Mr. Burns as Dr. Burns in the nuclear power plant, with Smithers as a mid-boss, throwing away his collection of Malibu Stacy dolls. And why did I say the good age of The Simpsons? Because we don't want lame jokes and pointless cameos. This is already the best Simpsons game of all time. Magic989s says, I would love to see Mega Man go back to the dawn of time, in the biblical sense. It would take place over 7 levels based on the first 7 days, and would culminate in the creation of humankind. What would it be called? Mega Man Genesis, of course. And he said, "Let there be Dr. Light." Pure Mix says he should be sent back to the year 1963 to defuse the situation of the Cuban Missile Crisis during the Cold War. Tensions were high, with the world seeing a possible nuclear meltdown since Kennedy and Khrushchev won't back down. The missiles may fly, but they won't be as good as the Bomberman. Yep, he'll be the superhero that saves mankind. Mega Man, defusing the CMC. Sounds great. But wouldn't that send us into a decades-long arm race to see who could build the best robot warrior? Diogo Martins says, Mega Man should be sent to the mid-1980s. In other words, to the beginning of the development of his own first game. In this game, Mega Man would have to fight to ensure the birth of his own franchise, and the birth of his legacy. Every boss would be based on problems that interfered with the development of the first Mega Man game, and powers gained after defeating them would be based on the functions and talents of each one of the 6 members of the development team. The game could also include playable characters other than Mega Man. X, for example. Rush. Some video game characters created due to his legacy, and even KJ Inafune. The game would be called Mega Man, the Blue Bomber Burt. But what kind of Mega Man would allow this art to get slapped on his first game? Matt Land says, I think you might have created an idea with the very question itself. A Mega Man game that travels throughout the history of Mega Man. Maybe even explore the Dr. Light-Wily relationship when they were still partners. You'd be able to explore levels from older games, but with the ability to get to different areas unseen before. The twist would be having a chance to run into your earlier self going through these challenges. How that affects the game is up to you. It would be called Mega Man Forever, because we all love gimmick names. Okay, but Matt, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of fanfiction accounts of the steamy partnership between Dr. Light and Wily. Forever indeed. And now, our 2 winners. Up first we have Louie Hamlin, with what I'm sure will be today's least controversial pitch. He suggests Mega Man go present day, social justice man. Every stage, Mega Man fights for a civil cause. Black, woman, LGBT, poor, elderly, etc. And only with the help of all those people can he save society. If that's too SWJ for some, we could take out the social justice. Man the game. Every stage he fights a civil cause. Black, woman, LGBT, poor, elderly, etc. When man wins the game, it doesn't affect anything. I'm sure that'll sell a lot more than my first idea. Oh, Louie Hamlin, social commentary man. And finally, it wouldn't be a contest without Pyro the Fox. It'd be rad to see Mega Man go back to the canonical early robotic years. He could come across prototypes of enemies we're used to today, like chromatars, or something like that. The levels could be all dial-up era inspired, maybe run through an Amiga factory. Then we may come across Dr. Light working to construct a robot for the first time and possibly have a hand in creating the idea for Mega Man in the first place. The name should be Mega Man 19XX. You know, it would be a tragic turn of events if Mega Man had a hand in starting his never-ending fight with Wily's robot army. Also, 19XX is a truly inspired name, and I hope somebody steals that from you. And that wraps up another contest. We'll be back shortly with another brand new contest, so don't you even think about unsubscribing. Also, to the 2 winners, can you do me a favor and shoot me a YouTube message or tweet and let me know the best way to get a hold of you? And with that, we're done with another week. I posted all the reviews I had time for and hosted this contest. Next week I'll be back with a bunch of new reviews and previews, as well as another video where I rank the best and worst magazine covers. Also, don't forget to check out Sunday's brand new episode of Online Pass, the weekly video game news quiz. This will be our 9th episode in a row, and it may or may not be the best one yet. I'm not sure. I haven't made it yet. Anyway, do me a favor and click the subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,